Hill finds Korver, gives it up to Middleton, launches a three, and he's fouled! That has been the story of the game. It's happened 7 or 8 times. Middleton gets the first one. His challenge in the first 3 minutes. Middleton's second free throw is good.
Close enough, obviously, for them to call it.
Middleton got the next one. Miami has a timeout left, and Eric Spoelstra will use it. 3. Miami inbounds. Here's Butler with 3. Butler with 2. With 1. Butler against Matthews. Gets it away, and no good. Do we have a foul? We do. A foul is called.
Confirms the on-floor decision. The shot was released prior to expiration of the period. The legal contact happened afterwards. We'll put double zeros on the clock, and they'll shoot their 2 free throws with no lineup on the floor, okay? With no lineup, no players, okay?
No.
Got it. Wow. Miami up 2-0 in the series.
I could complain about the officiating today, but the one thing about the officiating today, it was consistently trash. Giannis committed about 1,169,000 fouls. This man, Jay Crowder, was knocking people all over the place. Chris Paul was knocking people all over the place. Harden was bumping into people. Russ was bumping into people. Steven Adams falling all over the place. Robert Covington falling all over the place. This is the worst single-handed day of NBA officiating I have ever seen in my life. And y'all all need to go home and think about what the hell you did today. Because that shit was, I was literally at home screaming at my television. And Coach Bud, what the hell are you doing? Giannis is 25, not 35. Get his young, me-looking ass out there on the floor. Like, I am literally watching the playoffs, wondering what in the hell is wrong with half of these coaches. Even thinking about Billy Donovan at the end of the goddamn OKC Rockets game. Why is Shai Gilgeous, second-year Alexander, inbounding the ball? He little as hell. Put Danilo big ass out there. Why is Steven Adams coming up to the three-point line to catch the ball for the game-winning shot? I mean, goddamn. Goddamn, man. But anyways, welcome to 2 for 1. I'm here. I'm back. Got some guests tonight. Got the lovely Miss Ashley Nicole, HNB Media TV partner, as well as the resident OG homie Glasses Malone coming through to talk some basketball. But I just had to get that off my chest. And also, Giannis, you the Greek freak. I usually have your jersey up there. I'm sorry, G. We gotta get that out here tonight, G. You gotta do better, G. You too goddamn big. You too strong. You look like a goddamn horse in real life. I've seen you. I know how you look. You letting these little actually, I'm sorry, excuse me. Don't want to be offensive to the little people. You letting these little ass big people hold you down? Stop this, man. Why are you trying to post up from the three-point line? Why are you standing out there on the goddamn corner at the end of the game while Chris Middleton is running his goofy ass around, dribbling all goddamn day? I am sick of it. So if you get swept and you take your ass home, you deserve it. It's exactly what you deserve, Giannis. Coach Bud, you are the worst coach in playoff history. Playoff history. In the history of any goddamn sport ever. How the hell are you 30-30 in the playoffs? But you always got the team with the #1 record. I'm sorry, man. I'm sick of it. So anyways, let's go ahead. Let's introduce some light and some levity in here. Let's bring in Miss Ashley Nicole. Ashley, welcome to the program. Sorry.
Wait, can I just say
ahead.
one time?
Go ahead.
Miami Heat basketball.
You from New York.
listen.
You from New York and you rooting for the Heat. You from New York and you rooting for the Heat.
But I'm down here in the 305, and I gotta say, if they see the video on HNB Media's channel, I did call this. I said this was a very real possibility, and everyone thought I was crazy. There's no way the Miami Heat are gonna take down the almighty Bucks, and here we are, up 2-0 in the series, baby. We're going to the finals. Mark my words.
Whoa.
Mark my words, we're going to the finals.
Number one, you're getting way ahead of yourself. Number two, the series is not over because
It's
there is
over.
no home court advantage. There's no home court advantage. So I honestly think this series will eventually even out, whether it be at 2-2 or 3-3 by game 6. But I do think this will go 7. I just don't foresee the guy who's been the best player in the NBA for the past 2 years literally continuously banging his head against the wall and doing the same things. At some point in time, Coach Bud has to use his brain. At some point in time, Giannis has to use his brain. And loading up from half court to the top of the key and running and euroing into other people is not an effective strategy. They have no one that can even get the man the ball in the damn post. Coach Bud better get his ass back to that drawing board. Otherwise, they're going to be sent home. But I'm going to have a little faith in my son, and I'm going to say they go 7. But I'm bringing Glasses Malone. Glasses, what's up, man? How you doing tonight?
Hey, man, what's going on?
How you feeling?
I just wanted to make sure, because we started with this Houston OKC series, and you was singing Chris Paul praises.
He played well.
I don't want you to blame the referees. I want you to blame that last pass he threw over there to Shea instead of taking that ISO moment when he could have won the game.
I'm not mad at that. You know how I feel about Chris Paul, perennial chokers. But this has been his best year, and I'm not going to blame this. This is actually the one game in Chris Paul's career where I'm not even going to blame him for losing, because I literally was watching this game screaming at the TV at the referees. I have never seen so many calls made, but then so many blown calls made on the floor at the same time. Today was one of the worst games in officiating history for any sport. And all of these games matter. The Bucks as well. The Bucks got a little home cooking from the refs too. It was a few of them fouls that were in the last 3-4 minutes of that game that really shouldn't have been fouls. And the Middleton one, I understand why they called the Middleton one, because you have to allow him to. You wasn't
supposed to call the Jimmy foul though.
The Jimmy foul, man, let that shit go, bro. This man got his hand.
If you want to make that makeup call, you make that in overtime. You don't make that on the floor.
Exactly. What do you think about that makeup call, Ashley? How did you feel? How did you feel about both of those calls?
It was definitely a makeup call, but I'll take it. But here's the thing. That's what happens when you're playing in a bubble environment where there is no home court advantage. Because had that been in Milwaukee, the Heat weren't getting that call, period, point blank. The game was going to go into over. Like, it wasn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. So this is what happens when you're playing in an environment where there really is no home court advantage. And it was a blatant, like I said, it was a blatant makeup call. But the Heat fans will take it. It was a bad call, the call before that. So had that cost the Heat the game, because here's the thing. Had the Heat gone into overtime, they were not winning without Bam Adebayo. It just wasn't going to happen. The series would have been tied 1-1. So Heat fans, Heat Nation definitely caught a break with that call because, like I said, had that not happened, the Bucks were taking that game and it was going to be a tied series 1-1. So lucked out there.
What's crazy is she's saying this, right, is, like, I'm a huge Pat Riley fan, right? I'm a Showtime Laker infant. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I don't think people understand quite how good Miami is. Now, don't get me wrong. I wasn't picking Miami to beat the Bucks. I'm still not. But I don't think people really get how good Miami really is, how well coached they are. There's a few things about their team that is really good. They have a great defensive team. Their center has came to life in Bam Adebayo. They figured out how to defend. Duncan Robinson at the guard position is special. Tyler Hero and Jimmy Buckets added to that lineup is serious. And I don't think people really realize how great their defense is. Not to mention adding Iggy. Like, it's a for real team. Like, you can't. You have to beat this team. You really have to beat this team. You have to take it from them. And if you don't, and like she said, honestly, I've been saying Boston was going to beat Toronto this whole series. Toronto has, like, probably the worst half-court offense right now in the NBA. You know what I mean? Because they can't get a skilled bucket. Like, that's the problem with Milwaukee. They can't get a skilled bucket, right? That's the problem. When things are when they clog in the lane and they blocking everything from Giannis from driving, hard to get.
No, and that's a really good point. And I said that, in my breakdown of what we can expect in this series is that a lot of people underestimate Miami because you have guys who technically haven't been on the big stage before. But the thing about Miami is they were offensively designed to hit you from multiple angles of that court. At any time during the game, you have somebody on the court who can shoot. So unlike other teams, if you look at like the Orlando Magic when the Bucks are playing them, you really know where the ball is going to be consistently. You have that one guy, maybe that second guy, who's always going to have the ball in his hand, who's going to take that final shot. But here's the thing with Miami. You have so many different shooters. Jimmy buckets, Tyler Hero, you have Dragic, you have Bam Adebayo. You never know where that ball is going. And that's what makes it so hard to defend them. But also down here in Miami, Pat Riley prides himself on defensive teams. And that is Miami's strong point. They are a defensive, well-oiled machine. The only thing, though, that can run problematic as the series progresses and as if Miami advances is that they do have a bad habit
I love
sometimes.
You throw that if in there now. Yeah,
They do.
I'm
saying if, but I really mean when. I really mean when. But the issue is that, at least that I would like to see them correct some more, is that we saw this a lot during the regular season. They have an issue with that third quarter. That third quarter is either hit or miss. And you saw it in this game. They let the Bucks come back, and the game was tied at one point. Then the Bucks led at one point. I would like to see them keep the foot on the gas for all four quarters, because as you progress and you start playing teams that are a little bit more equipped, a little bit better, have more shooters, that is a dangerous predicament to have yourself in. And the turnovers, we got to stop with the turnovers. I mean, turnovers have a way of catching up to you in the second half.
Go ahead,
what's crazy is they don't really have playmakers. You know what I mean? Like, Miami's team is.
You mean Miami, or you talking about the Bucks?
Miami. Okay. Like Dragic is more of a scoring guard than anything. But they're such a defensively special team. And like she said, what's crazy is Pat Riley, the Showtime offense, you don't even think of Pat Riley, but ever since he came to Miami, his whole mindset has changed, and it's just been defense. And they're winning these games with defense. They're going to have offensive lapses because they don't have any offensive superstar. They don't have an offensive superstar. You know what I mean? And offensive superstars are overrated. Like right now, we're seeing with Giannis, where it's like, if a team schemes on you and then all you can do is shoot threes, you know what I'm saying? You're in trouble. Like if that's the majority of your offense. Okay, when things are getting bad, we're going to scheme on your best player and we're going to let everybody shoot, or we're going to run them off the 3-point line like they did today. Like that was brilliant. Spo is coaching like he's clearly out coaching. You know, Coach Bud by a mile. But Coach Bud got to figure it out. And Giannis eventually, and I respect him because the overseas players are very much, they're coached players. So if you listen to Giannis after every game, it's like the coach wants me to do this. Just versus players from here where it's like, I need to go out and give my best effort. Yeah. So, you know, you live and die by the coach. You know what I'm saying? And I would imagine he has to be somewhat loyal. This man winning 2 MVPs, a defensive player of the year. But again, they got to figure it out. But you know who I want to see them use? But my problem is they don't use a lot. Go ahead. Who? And I wanted to say this, but we talk about this all the time.
Who, Ilyasova?
Brooke Lopez in a half-court set is a great half-court option that they don't utilize enough. He's a very much skilled
they have him standing on the wing and in the corner shooting threes. That's not how he's going to.
And that's cool sometimes, but then you use his strength as a great post-skill player, and Coach Bud got to figure that out, because if he don't, he doesn't have any half-court skilled offense to depend on.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, Coach Bud's shortcomings and shortfalls will be the reason why Giannis will not survive in Milwaukee, and he will probably end up in a Miami or Golden State. I don't like that dude as a coach. He is a great human being. I have talked to him. I have covered his press conferences, but Coach Bud is not a good coach to me. He is a good regular season coach. But I define great coaches by what you do in the playoffs. And in the playoffs, every time he gets supremely outskilled. I've even seen Al Horford get regulated to looking like he ain't got no skill. And we all know Al Horford got skill, especially on the block. Go ahead.
But real fast. Go
ahead.
Again, we may underestimate how great Miami is of a team. Like, I think we're looking at it really linear, and like, again, it reminds me of LeBron in 2009, 2010, where we felt LeBron had, you know, he had made it to the finals when all of the East dissipated for that season. Then he couldn't get back. And then he had a great season. So we was like, okay, LeBron's going back to the finals. And they ran into that Celtics team who wasn't supposed to beat them that year in 2010.
They were supposed to be Kobe and Bryant. They were like a year over the hill and all of that,
So it matters, like when we saying, like, we got to be careful. I know we're talking in a time, but Miami could be the team that could go, maybe beat Boston and be in the finals. It's not that far-fetched. They remind me very much of the Detroit Pistons of 2000. They have a great team.
You and these damn hot takes glasses. What the heck? They remind you of the Detroit what?
Pistons.
From when?
From the 04.
You
they
do
did the
good
bad boy.
though. And I know you don't even drink or smoke, but you tripping.
No,
You
I'm telling
tripping.
you, their defense is really look what they're doing to him. Look what they're doing to him as a team. So, you know,
I don't think they're doing anything to him. I just think that he is not a skilled finesse finisher around the rim. And the problem is he's brute force. And when you're brute force and you're playing against smaller guys, you tend to want to overpower them. The difference between a Shaq and a Giannis is Shaq would abuse big guys, but when he had guys that were smaller, he just turn around and flick it and throw it in the rim. Shaq won games with turnaround floaters or turnaround post moves. Giannis don't have none of that. Giannis is power at the rim, and he has to get in the gym, call up KG, call up Tim Duncan, call up Kevin McHale and say, hey, big fella, let's get in the gym because I need to work on some more moves because being bigger and faster and stronger is good for the first 82 games of the year. But when you get in the playoffs and they just load up the paint or they want a W or what actually Miami has been doing has been running like a weird soft zone, kind of like a 1-3-1. Yeah. They run like they run like a weird soft zone and it really throws them off because then it just kind of sits all of their small guys and they basically just form a wall, and then the wall that they form, they leave their two wings on the corners. So Brook can't get any open lane. Giannis, if he tries to half back dive to the rim, is going to hit 5 bodies. And then Middleton isn't making shots. Or if he is making shots, they're coming in the first quarter. Eric Bledsoe is still playing like a numbnut. And George Hill has honestly been the only guy that looks to be somewhat consistent for them. They're
still 3-point shots. Again, that's still a 25, 26-foot shot. You have to use half-court offense, and they have it in Brook Lopez. But again, real fast, not Shaq.
Yeah.
Let's go back to LeBron in 2009 and 10.
Yeah.
The Celtics did the same thing to him. It's not necessarily, we imagine us screaming to LeBron, you need to go figure out this and that. Remember, the next year, Dallas did the same soft zone to him.
Yeah.
And they won a championship. So again, it's like, I think we're taking a lot of credit. We're blaming the Bucks when we should probably be giving a lot more credit to Miami.
Okay.
Honestly.
All right. So
I think
go ahead, Ashley. Final word on this, and then we're going to move on and talk next series. Go ahead.
I think it is also interesting, though, that Giannis has gone on the record and said he doesn't train with other players in the gym because of competition. Now you can see how that sometimes can be problematic.
I actually agree with him. I firmly disagree with that. I firmly disagree with that.
Maybe if he trained with
his post moves have nothing to do with training with other people because Devin Booker train with people all the time. He get double teamed when he training, and I ain't never seen Devin Booker in the playoffs.
I disagree.
And what's crazy
I ain't never seen Devin Booker in the playoffs. I ain't never seen Devin Booker win MVP. I ain't never seen none of these guys you see playing pickup win no MVPs.
Listen,
Braun don't be out there playing pickup either.
Listen,
I can tell you, no.
Steph Curry ain't out there playing pickup either.
I'm not even talking about pickup. I'm not even talking about pickup games. I'm talking about bringing people into your inner circle when you're training.
He does.
But he said he rarely. But
former players. He doesn't work with current players.
The game's different.
I disagree with that because all the moves that he is missing are all the stuff that the former guy had. KG had a post move. Kevin McHale had a post move. Hakeem had post moves. Shaq had post moves.
Again, we're blaming Giannis. Miami was 2-1 versus the Bucks this season. Miami may just have the Bucks number. Like these things matter.
Or that coach might need to just make some goddamn adjustments.
You just think that because he has the MVP.
No, it's not about the MVP. I'm seeing real live game adjustments that as the game is going on, I am screaming at my television. What are you doing? Literally, Giannis is playing like 32 minutes a game in this series. Why? Why is a 25-year-old playing 32 minutes a night?
Foul fucking trouble every night.
Why do you think that is?
Because it's because you have to give credit to Miami.
No, he's been in foul trouble the whole bubble. So you as the coach have to step up and make some adjustments.
So no,
but he ain't making no adjustments.
So no credit for Miami and the way they're
I give Miami the only game I give Miami credit for is game 1. I feel like if anything, the Bucks should be feeling like, man, we literally played as terrible as we could ever play in both of these games. We almost won this game and we lost it. So if we go out and we just execute and make shots and slow down, they'll be all right. But Coach Bud is not going to get there without any adjustments. He's not. He's
But
not
listen,
making adjustments.
I'm a firm believer. I hate the comparisons of regular season to the playoffs because I've said 1,000 times in the playoffs the game slows down, it changes, things like that. But even if you look at the way that the Bucks and Miami have played each other in the regular season, Miami just knows the sauce to beating the Bucks. They just have it. It's in their
the sauce
DNA.
is better coaching. The sauce is better coaching.
Yes,
it is better coaching. The sauce is better coaching. We all know that the Bucks are a better team. The Bucks are a better team. The Bucks are a better team. They've shown evidence of it all year long. They're a better team.
Except playing against Miami. You got to stop looking at
because this is my question. Why is the coach being absolved of all of this when he's the guy that's supposed to go out and execute the game plan? He is a better coach. So the coach has to do better because the coach is getting supremely outcoached right now in every facet of the game.
But why are you giving so much credit to just Coach Spo, but you're not looking at the overall DNA and the makeup of the team? The players make the team as well. Yes, coaching is a big part of it.
How many full Bucks games have both of you watched this year? I guarantee you have not watched more full Milwaukee Bucks games this year than I have. I have watched at least 40 at least 40 Milwaukee Bucks games this year. And when they are on
Miami to Milwaukee right now.
Yes, but that's not Miami to Milwaukee. But you are not listening to me. Let me finish my point. My point is when they are on because they are just annihilating teams. When the game gets close and Coach Bud has to make adjustments, he does not know how to make adjustments.
What adjustments could he make?
What are you talking about? What do you mean what adjustments could you play? Do you even see his rotations? His rotations are terrible. Giannis literally leaves the game every time at the 6-minute mark in the first quarter. He goes and sits. No, he's not. The last game he had one foul and he sat him down on the bench for 6 minutes in the first quarter. That is not playing smart basketball. Your 25-year-old MVP superstar should not be playing 30 minutes a night. That doesn't make sense. If in a vacuum I told you LeBron coach was playing LeBron 30 minutes a night, you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with LeBron coach? LeBron should be playing more than 30 minutes a night. What is wrong with Mike Budenholzer? That's what I want to know.
It depends on how impactful Giannis is being. The fact is they have
he's still giving you 27 and 14 or 27 and 17 and he's struggling. That's my point. Yes, he is impacting the game. But if your coach, how do you figure who's impacting the game for the Bucks then?
That's what they're not. That's what we're telling you.
That's the issue.
Defense.
The coach's issue. That is the coach's issue.
He's being outcoached. There's nothing he can do. He's not a better coach than Spo.
He's being outcoached. That's my whole point. He has to make adjustments.
But it's
y'all talking about Miami being good. They're good, but they're not better than the Bucks. And the Bucks should be losing.
The Bucks all year.
I don't care about all year. The Bucks have been the best team in the league all year, and they should win. Period. Period. If it was LeBron, I would be saying the same damn thing. If you the MVP and you got the best team, go out there and get it done. I don't want to hear that shit. It's excuses.
But you're also ignoring the fact, yes, if this was the Bucks from the beginning of the season, I would say they're the better team. But ever since the Bucks entered this bubble, you cannot disregard the fact that they look completely different. It's not the same team.
I do not care.
It's just not.
When you lose, don't nobody care about how you look before the bubble, none of that. They care about what that win-loss record says.
From the beginning of the season, so
I disagree with that. I disagree with that. It's the exact same team with the same bad coach that has had let me finish. It's the exact same team, and it's the same team, and it's also a similar construction of a team that the same guy that's had the #1 record in the East for however many years, he didn't have the #1 record over the past decade, whose teams get flamed out or swept in the playoffs. That is the problem. The Atlanta Hawks didn't go out and get swept by the Cleveland Cavaliers for no reason. It's because Mike Budenholzer don't know how to make adjustments. He knows how to get his team to play good in the regular season, but when the game slow down the playoffs, he gets outcoached every single damn time. And even you talk to me tonight, Glasses, about how well Mike D'Antoni adjusted to Oklahoma City. I don't see Mike Budenholzer adjusting to shit.
Mike D'Antoni's gonna get Mike D'Antoni is gonna lose to the Lakers.
No, that ain't a foregone conclusion. We talking about what is reality. We talking about what's right now. That's not reality. We'll see on Friday, Sunday, and Wednesday when they play.
Okay.
Let's focus. Check this out real fast. Miami has been kicking the shit out of the Bucks all year, before and after the bubble. You have to pay attention. I know, because somebody won a trophy. Fuck that trophy. We've been kicking your ass.
Who says I got a trophy?
Because you keep talking about it's an MVP. It don't matter. And you keep talking about when LeBron James is kicking the Hawks' ass. It's LeBron James kicking the Hawks' ass.
And also the Cleveland Cavaliers getting and also Ty Lue, another guy who does not get credit for being a supreme coach when it comes to making adjustments. Even in 2016, he out-adjusted Steve Kerr in that series. Draymond nut slap ain't the reason why you lost that series. You lost that series because you got out-adjusted. And Steve Kerr, and I've been rooting for the Warriors. I love the Warriors. But Steve Kerr didn't get out. He get out-adjusted all the time.
Let me ask you a question. But what adjustments do you want him to make? Let me finish. When your best player, right now, your defensive player of the year and hope maybe MVP cannot produce. What do you want him to do? Go on the court and suit up himself? What do you want him to do? He's not producing.
You saying not produce is insulting to him. You saying
don't have the options you don't have the options for him to adjust with. What do you want him to do?
Y'all gonna let me tell y'all what my coaching adjustments are gonna be? My coaching adjustments are gonna be when I'm playing the Heat. Fine, you want to run a zone? We gonna run a zone. We gonna run a soft 3-2 zone, and and you gotta stop. Listen to what I'm saying. You got a bunch of 3-point shooters. We gonna lock up the paint and make y'all make 3-point shots. I told people Jimmy Butler would not have 40 again, and you saw what he did today. He had 10 or 11 because he made the last shot or whatever when the game ended. It's not gonna happen again. The problem with the Bucks is in the first quarter. Usually the game is kind of somewhat what in terms of momentum. Then the 6-minute mark happens. Giannis sits on the bench. He usually will bring in Eric Bledsoe off the bench to play with Brook Lopez, and it's Eric Bledsoe, Brook Lopez, Wesley Matthews, and Chris Middleton on the floor. You don't win championships like that. You don't win championships like that. You win championships with your best players being on the floor in the biggest moments. You sitting Giannis down when he has one foul is not saving anybody anything.
It don't have nothing to do with the end of the game.
Yes, it does. It does because his acute. How do you keep saying that? Because if he struggles in the first half, he not gonna have a rhythm in the second half. Literally, when he airballed a free throw the other day, he airballed a free throw in game 1, and once he airballed a free throw, I was like, damn, this finna be a long night. Giannis about to miss. He about to miss free throws. This finna be a long night. And sure enough, clanking free throws tonight. Clanking free throws. You have to give your best players and put them in a position to succeed. Even tonight, we want to talk about game in and game out adjustments tonight, right? Chris Middleton goes and I think he commits a foul with 4 minutes and something left on the floor. He commits that foul, giving him, I believe, 5 fouls left in the game, and there was 4 something left on the floor. Once Chris Middleton committed that foul, Coach Budenholzer took him out of the game. They were only down by listen to what I'm saying. They were only down, listen to what I'm saying, Glasses. They were only down by 2 to 3, right? He takes him out of the game, puts Wesley Matthews in the game. 3 straight possessions. The Bucks do not score. There is a turnover and there are mishaps, and that leads them to not even being able to get to close the 3-point. I don't care. Is he not one of your best players? You got 4 minutes. It's 4 minutes left in the game, G.
That's not enough.
It's 4 fucking minutes. It is enough. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna give you a prime example.
You put him in the game. It's a possession for possession game. Even Oklahoma City versus Rockets, possession versus possession game. He has been grossly outcoached.
You don't play Chris Middleton 4 minutes in. You don't play Chris Middleton.
No, not 4 minutes in. 4 minutes left in the fourth.
4 minutes left. You do not. You pull him out with 5 fouls.
That don't make sense. That's why they lose.
It does.
That's why they've been getting their ass whooped in.
No, they lost because literally the job the Miami Heat are doing on Giannis.
And the coach's rotation is terrible. And sometimes when your rotation's getting, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Tell Rick Carlisle that. Tell Rick Carlisle that, a guy who's been a master of adjustments. Huh?
Rick Carlisle at home.
Yeah, he at home right now because his other star player hurt his knee again.
That's not why he's at home.
Man, I don't want to hear that shit, Glasses. Let's not act like if KP wouldn't have been there, we don't know what would have happened because we didn't know what was happening when he was there.
So now we live in an imaginary land.
No, we're not living in an imaginary land, but we also talking about a championship level coach. And my point is, championship level. Stop saying he won one. He won one.
Won one championship.
It don't matter. He is a championship coach. Period. Period. Put some respect on it. He is a master of rotations. Do you not see what Rick Carlisle has done? Jose Juan Barrera has been this 6th man of the year basically on his team for the past 10 years, and he my goddamn height. What? He ain't a master of rotations? Coach Bud is getting grossly outcoached, But let's move on. Let's talk Rockets Lakers. I'll let you two both go ahead and lead it off. No, now y'all ain't got nothing to say? Well, fine. I'm sorry. Rockets versus Lakers. Obviously, actually, let's go Rockets OKC real quick because I forgot about that. Rockets OKC. What did you think about Harden showing up and actually doing what Manu did to him?
I think it was important. I think it was great. I was happy to see D'Antoni win the game with defense. I was glad Harden won the game with defense. I think it did a lot for his confidence. Again, I think Chris Paul should have never passed the ball at the end of that game. That was really important. That was your moment that they was talking about it on the telecast. Hey, Chris Paul is built for this moment, and you passed the ball to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's just probably going to be how it
Chris
goes
Paul
down.
is not built for that moment. I've always called him CP2 for a reason because he never makes it out of the second round, except for once, and that was on the back of James Harden, who was the league MVP that year. Other than that, I've never seen that man in June. And honestly, the only reason why I've seen him in the summer this time was because the bubble happened and the season got delayed by 4 months. Because usually he'd be gone before April 25th. But I did think that this was a good win for the Rockets. I've predicted from the start that the Rockets are going to beat the Lakers in 6. But I also predicted that this OKC Rockets series would probably go anywhere between 6 or 7 games if Russ missed games, and Russ missed 5 games. So you do have a 6, 7. And Dort, go ahead.
Let's talk about Lou Dort, man.
Yeah,
that
Lou
defense on
Dort.
Harden, oh my God,
All-world defense.
And it's like I always tell you about Luka, right? What it's like, Luka and Harden. Luka's game is exactly like Harden. They shuffle through the defense to find a matchup, and that's no problem because that's what the NBA is all about today. The problem is at the highest levels, you have to just be better than everybody else. No matter, you may have to go against the toughest defender. And that's James Harden's problem, like it's Luka's problem, where you can shuffle through the matchups. But if there's a guy on this court that can check you one-on-one and your whole team and offense is built off of how you distribute the ball to everybody and play make, Dort took that away from him. Dort turned him into a complete passer. So it was like super amazing. So shout out to Lou Dort for that. But again, Russell Westbrook was very important in this game because, again, he's that kind of player. And if you spread like a team doesn't have to, the better teams don't have to scheme for James Harden. The better teams don't have to scheme for Luka Doncic, right? They literally have a guy that if they decide, hey, you know what, we're going to put this guy on you, you're going to have a bad night because those guys are not better than the best guys defensively.
Who is that guy for Luka? Who is that guy on Luka? Lie to me. Sit here and lie to me in front of the world.
Kawhi Leonard, Paul George.
You're lying. You sitting here lying to me in front of the world. You said
Well,
that man Luka.
Don't
make me pull up the tape. You came on my show with a broom. Did you not? Saying they was gonna get swept and saying Luka wouldn't have more than 30. You said that correctly, Mr. Glasses Malone.
But we're not gonna forget Pat Beverly, just like you remember the unicorn wasn't there. But regardless, that's not the point. The point is he did go home. And the reality is the matchup versus Paul George and Kawhi, he shot 30%. Not against the whole rest of the team. He was annihilating everybody. But the actual defenders, and that's James Harden's problem the same way. Now, Russell Westbrook on the same hand, there's not a nigga in the NBA. There's not a nigga in the NBA that could go on Russell Westbrook. You have to literally shrink the paint. And the problem with James Harden, exactly. Like only if the paint gets small, because then you can help. But James Harden is that guy that no one in the NBA can guard. He can go and stop as he pleases. The problem is when a whole team can scheme for him versus James Harden. So them in the Lakers or them in OKC is, again, like for James Harden to win a game defensively, for D'Antoni to have probably the best half-court defense in the bubble, I mean, I think we could be looking at something pretty cool.
Yeah, Ashley, go ahead. Give me your quick takes on OKC versus the Rockets, Game 7, and then let's hop into Rockets versus Lakers, and then we can go ahead and get ready to get out of here.
I mean, it was obviously a great game. I thought OKC had Houston's number. It was pretty close, but again, impressive defense from James Harden, and I don't think he gets enough credit sometimes for his defense. But it was interesting. I felt like Chris Paul was trying to cheat in those last 60 seconds with like, I called the timeout, and then I didn't call. It was like it's just a little like, come on, CP. I know you're like the president of the NBA PA, but like just relax. Like this is gonna play out the way it's supposed to. You're not winning this one. I'm sorry, but Listen, the only thing is, the small ball, I have a love-hate relationship with small ball. I have a love-hate relationship with Dan Antoni, obviously being a Knicks fan and that situation. So it's going to be interesting as we discuss, Lakers and Houston, exactly how that's going to play out. I think I know how it's going to play out, but we'll talk about it.
You're a LeBron fan.
No, I'm not. I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm a Kobe girl and I'm a Melo girl.
I believe you're a closeted LeBron fan. Yeah.
Now getting
so what
into
can
the
we expect
Lakers
versus the Rockets versus Lakers? I got Rockets in 6.
Now here's another thing. The Rockets
but I've had them in 6 from the start, though. I just wanted that to be known since the beginning of the playoffs.
Just listen, just like Miami Heat and the Bucks, the Rockets have been kicking the shit out of the Lakers pretty much the year. The way they match up, right, is you have this fantastic front court of LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the offensive side of the ball, and you have this fantastic MVP-ish talent of backcourts with James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Man, I don't know.
Lakers fan.
The small ball is weird.
The small ball. I don't think that works to win championships, especially when Anthony Davis is playing the fight. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, but Robert Covington can guard Anthony Davis, and that's the problem. And so can PJ Tucker. They can't shut him down, but they can guard him.
I just feel like small ball hit or miss. It's really hit or miss.
But I also feel the same way kind of about Miami. Miami is not a large team. Like even Bam is not a large guy, so I feel like they play
7 feet.
Is he 7 feet? He don't. Bam, he don't
No,
feel
Bam
like it
ain't
to me.
seven. No, Bam.
He don't know he not. Bam is 6'9". Come on, man.
I'll look it up. I'm pretty
Bam he's literally 6'9". He's listed as 6'9".
7'5" arms. Though.
Yeah, he's 6'9". So they're not a large team. They play relatively small. So I feel the same way about Milwaukee as other people that might feel the same way about the Lakers will feel against the Rockets. I just think it's a matter of adjusting to the personnels on the floor personally. But go ahead.
I just wanted to say this. So she was saying, she made a point about Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis doesn't play big 48 minutes. That's the only thing. I agree. Small ball against Shaq, it wouldn't even be a matchup. Mm-hmm. Small ball against
Hakeem, or David
Dream
Robinson,
or David Robinson, yes, but Anthony Davis doesn't play big. Like he doesn't. He's a skilled big guy. He plays closer to Kevin Garnett than he does closer to Tim Duncan. So I don't know. And then like minus that, like you got PJ Tucker, like LeBron is gonna be in deep. Like we really like last series, we didn't see what LeBron had left. Because it was Gary Trent guarding, right? Yeah. So you don't really get to see. Robert Covington has pretty much had LeBron's number their whole career.
Yeah, including when he was in Philly.
He has challenged LeBron
playing with the 76ers.
to the hardest levels. So can their half-court defense, set up? I mean, it ain't like we're going to be running plays for Dwight Howard. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be running plays for JaVale McGee.
Yeah.
So if we're not playing huge, like, I don't know if LeBron James is getting around Robert Covington.
I think it also depends if the Lakers slow their game down. That's going to be a difference maker too, because when you're playing small ball, it tends to work better against a slower game. So if the Lakers slow down, the small ball is not going to affect them. If they try to keep up with the Rockets, that's going to be where it's problematic. And that's what we saw during the regular season. They try to adjust their game to the Rockets game, and you can't do that with Anthony Davis and LeBron James on your team. So they're going to have to slow their game down to be an even playing field. And then the Lakers, you'll get a series where it's going a lot of back and forth. But if they try to match them exactly, it's just not going to work.
Who do you have winning the series? I know you have the Lakers, but who do you have winning the series and how many games, Ashley? Because I know Glasses is not going to answer until like game 6 when the Lakers up there. Like, who's going to win?
I'm going to go Lakers in 6. I have it coming down to obviously Lakers-Clippers. I have the Clippers going to the finals this year. So I'm going to stick with obviously I didn't know the Lakers and Houston were going to play each other, but my final guess was Lakers and Clippers. So I'm going to go Lakers in 6. I'm really interested to see how the Lakers adjust their game, because if they try to do what they did during the regular season, then it's going to be Houston in 6. So they really got to play this smart.
Yeah. Final words on this?
I don't know, man. It's weird because, like, so much of today's basketball depends if your lead guy can break down offense. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like LeBron James, breaking down James Harden, you know, but at least you have Westbrook, Luka Doncic. You have to break down the offense. So if LeBron James cannot break down, because he's not breaking down his defense. Like, he's not going to be able to break down. He's not getting around. If he has lost a step like I thought he did in the bubble again, like, that's going to be tough with Robert Covington in front of him. That's going to be tough with PJ Tucker in front of you, because these guys can really play defense. So I'm interested to see what adjustments the Lakers make. And no, I can't pick a winner because, like, you know,
because you never pick winners.
What do you mean you can't?
Because he's a Lakers fan and he never picks.
Man,
because he know the Lakers not gonna win.
If you don't make your prediction,
I pick Houston over the Thunder. I picked winners. I wasn't worried about when.
So then pick a winner now. Why are you stalling? Stop hesitating. Pick it. Is it going to be Houston or is it going to be LA? Give me a pick.
I can't see the end of it. I can't see how it work out.
If you don't just give me a pick, listen here. You just trying to play the fence so when the Lakers lose, you can say I didn't make a pick, or when Houston loses, when Houston loses, I didn't make a pick. He's trying to play two ends in the middle. He can't even swing.
That's not true. I really have to believe somebody is going to win or lose to make a pick. I really have to believe that. And my problem is, like, I really see this very even type of thing. I can't really see the end. I really can't. I can't see the end because I don't know where LeBron is at after the bubble. That matters with Covington in front of you. It matters.
You can make a pick, but you don't want to make a pick.
You just don't want to.
But no, it's fine. It's fine. Let's move on from that. And actually, last minute of the show before we get ready to outro, game 1, the Clippers versus Nuggets. Who do you all think wins tomorrow? Go ahead.
It's obviously going to be the Clippers. Here's the thing, and this is one thing I hate about 7-game series, is the team that's coming off of it is always the most exhausted. And if we look at Denver versus Utah, they barely scathed by Utah, and Utah has hands down probably one of the worst benches in the NBA. So you're going to go against a Clippers team that's not only had the ability to reset and rest, they have one of the deepest benches in the NBA. They're a defensive machine. You have Paul George, a 6-time All-Star. You have Kawhi Leonard, a 4-time All-Star, NBA champion. You have Lou Will, 3-time Sixth Man of the Year. I mean, it's no competition. Denver will be lucky, and I'm doing this to be generous. They're going to win 1 game in this series. I'll be surprised if it goes 5, but I'll give them 1 game. I don't think it'll be a sweep just because maybe they'll get lucky, but there's no chance in hell they're going to win this series. It's just not going to happen.
Glasses, you go ahead, and then I'll give my prediction because I don't agree with Ashley, obviously.
I'm going to pick Denver. I'm going to pick Denver in the first game only because, like you said, some people be fatigued, but I also think they're already in rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've watched a lot of teams, like Portland, when they came out and beat the Lakers, it's because they were in rhythm. So I think it's a value that goes when people are in rhythm. But at the end of the day, it's going to be tough for them to beat the Clippers. But the first game, I think Denver's going to win for sure.
Yeah, actually, I'm taking the Clippers to win game 1, probably like 115, 107-ish. But I actually think Denver is going to take this series 7. You all love to talk to me earlier about matchups during the regular season. Well, Denver
plays. Wait a minute.
I said you all.
Backtrack.
You heard what I said.
What?
They're going to take this 7 games. I think the Clippers are going to win, but this is going to go 7 games. I've covered the Clippers ad nauseum this year, physically and via Zoom while they've been in the bubble. I've seen these guys up close and in person. They are not a team that is full of team camaraderie and that is together. They are a bunch of guys with their own individual agendas that want to win a championship, and therefore they will have a lot tougher time than probably a lot of other teams will finishing and closing out series. I even think you saw with Luka. You should be able to put away a 22-year-old kid.
They should have not won 1 game.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong. I think I picked Luka to get 1, but they shouldn't have won realistically if this team was who they think they've been all year. But they're not that team.
Which is why
that's why I think this is going 7.
I can't see the Clippers winning a championship because as great as they are, it's too many offensive laps. It's just too many offensive laps.
The Lakers win a championship.
Denver, what universe are we? Denver barely made it past Utah.
Yes, but we have to talk about matchups. The Clippers don't have anyone to guard Nikola Jokic. They also don't have anyone to guard Jamal Murray. I watched Shake Milton. I watched Mitchell. I watched Anthony Simons. I watched damn near Terry Rozier cut a mixtape on the Los Angeles Clippers backcourt this year in terms of scoring. Shake Milton dropped 38 in Staples Center on a Sunday afternoon. Kawhi and PG was playing. So they struggle against guards and perimeter-oriented guards, and they struggle struggle against big men that can score in the paint, especially big men that can post up, as you saw with Boban taking Montrezl Harrell completely out of the game. I think the key to this series is going to be Ivica Zubac. If he averages 12 and 10, they will sweep them, probably win in 5. If he averages like 9 and 7, then this is going to be a 7-game series because he has to essentially go out and not match Nikola Jokic, but at least give me a night in, night out, challenge him defensively, as well as be able to keep up pace with them in terms of rebounding, because the Clippers are a team, and you saw it versus the Mavericks, where they can let themselves get out rebounded once they start making a lot of turnovers. They stopped giving effort plays, which is why Doc called them emotionally weak after the game, because they can be emotionally weak, and that's why I don't think they'll win in 7, because they are emotionally weak. And I honestly don't think that they're going to win any series this entire playoffs in less than 5 games, because they are a team of individuals playing together to win a championship and not a team of guys that want to play to win a championship. The Raptors had a team of guys that wanted to play together to win because they felt they could do something special. They have a team of guys that are preordained or feel they're preordained to win a championship because of by proxy of who they play with. When you ain't won shit, Paul George, Lou Williams, Montrez, all of those guys. So they got to go out there and prove
put some respect on Lou Will's name.
I'm not putting, no, wait a minute.
Don't do that.
Whoa, no, stop this. You stop disrespecting what Lou Will's actual career is. We don't tell lies on these shows. I don't tell lies. And if Lou Will want to see me about it, feel free. Lou Will ain't no damn champion. He a good 6 man, but he ain't no damn champion. He ain't dependable, and he's not a guy that when you need to close out a playoff series, you go to. It does matter because he is their point guard. He is their point guard and facilitator on offense. It does matter.
He's not a one-person team.
Yes, but you have to.
There's 5 guys on the court, not just
Ashley, I have covered this team. I have spent hundreds of hours around these guys. I would not be saying this if I didn't see it.
Let me explain it.
Go ahead.
He's not lying. Like, they are not a really good team together, right? They have a team full of great players, but they are not a great team together. And that's the problem. That's why they have so many offensive lapses. The backcourt, I've been saying this the whole year. Like, before they got together, I'm like, you stick in your backcourt. You have a Lou Wills with a decent season, not a great season, because you're sticking him in a corner. You're sticking the other little light-skinned boy in the corner. You got these 2 big power. You got these 2 forwards playing in the backcourt. It's not right. And he's right. Like, Dallas should have never won a game. That's like no way possible Dallas should have won a game because you're too.
But you're also underestimating Dallas, and let's not forget the fact that Paul George is a big part of the team, and Paul George didn't show up until Game 4.
Yeah, so but think about Ashley, you have to think about the wing defenders Denver has. Denver didn't have guys to guard Donovan Mitchell. They have hella guys to guard Paul George and Kawhi. They do. They have.
Leonard, listen to me. Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers are not losing to Denver. It's just not going.
I didn't say that we're going to lose this series, but it's going to go 7.
It's not going 7 games. Watch. It is. I will come up. Listen,
you supremely underestimate the camaraderie of this team. Dallas went 6. You think Dallas, which is a supremely inferior team,
7.
So you're telling me an inferior team is going to play better than the better team?
I'm telling you, it's not going 7.
I'm asking you a question. You're telling me an inferior team is going to play better than the better team.
Let me ask you
a question. It's not going 7.
Okay, that's what you're telling me then.
It's not going 7.
You pulling the glasses. Where's your answer? Is that a yes or no? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you again.
No, that's not what I asked you. I asked you a very specific question.
It's exactly what I'm telling you.
Miss Ashley Nicole, yes or no? You're telling me an inferior team is going to outplay a better team in the next round?
Yes.
Okay. All right, as long as you
want to refer to them as the inferior team,
because they are an inferior team. The Dallas Mavericks are a supremely inferior team to the Denver Nuggets, and it's not even close. It's the reason why one is the 7th seed and the other one was the 6th or whatever.
Not to mention, Dallas's strength should be the Clippers' best. Like, it was no way possible. Luka. It was times in that series where Kawhi and Paul George just guarded Luka. They probably guarded Luka 10 minutes of the game. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why the fuck is like they're starting the game with Morris guarding Luka? Then it's Reggie Jackson. I'm like, bro, you have the best small forward defender in the history of the game, the second best small forward defender, if not Jimmy Butler, right on your team, and for motherfucking 12 minutes a game, that's the only time they guard him. That is trash. And the problem is with Denver, that's true. Their center is where they're weak at. The center position is where they're weak at, and the
Let me
back
ask
court.
you this. Let me ask you this. You think Jamal Murray's dropping 50 points like he was making it rain?
No, but I can see him dropping.
Again, you think he's dropping 50 points against the Clippers like he was against Utah?
He can drop 40. He can drop 40 easily.
But my question
he can drop 40. Shake Milton dropped 38. Do you know who Shake Milton is?
Yes.
He dropped 38 on the Clippers when Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and Patrick Beverly were playing this year.
But before we get,
I think you guys are underestimating. I think you guys are underestimating the defensive machine. I've seen them
all year long. They are not a defensive machine. Literally,
actually,
how about this? How about this, Ashley? I'll send you a clip of Doc Rivers telling me that this team is not a defensive machine.
Who's a better defensive team? Who's a better defensive team in this matchup? No, in this matchup.
We will see.
But this is the problem.
We will see.
This is the problem before we jump. Look,
we will see.
Well,
let's get ready to wrap this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So let me just say this real fast, right? The difference is those two guys can't guard the backcourt. That's the truth. They can't guard the backcourt. They passed that time when they're young and fresh. When you're younger, you can do bullshit. They can't guard the backcourt. They can't guard them. So the backcourt will be a bit affected. You know what I'm saying? Like these are bigger guards than Pat Bev, so they're gonna be challenged night in and night out. You know, Jamal Murray's gonna get buckets. It's gonna be a
Gary
game.
Harris is back.
And Gary Harris is back, so he can defend. So again, we're with you, but that's why Denver has looked pretty good in the regular season against the Clippers. Their strength.
I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not saying.
But honestly, they've been looking good versus the Clippers the past 2 years.
I want to make this very clear. I'm not saying Denver is not a good team. I think Denver has a lot of things going for them as a unit, as a friend. If they can keep these guys together, this is not the last time we'll see them in the postseason. I want to make that very clear. I'm just saying, if I have to pick between the Clippers and the Nuggets, I don't think it's going 7 games. I just don't. I think the Clippers, Kawhi specifically, is on a mission to win a championship, and I don't think he's letting anyone get in his way, especially not the Denver Nuggets. And that's just what I think.
I think if you spent more time around these guys this year in person, you would disagree with yourself, and I'll just leave it at that.
Lou Will's a very good friend of mine, so I
didn't say they were bad people. So don't pull that Stephen A. crap on me.
I'm not saying
Don't pull that. Lou Will is a very good person. He's a very good friend of mine. I said I'm not talking about them as people. I'm talking about them playing basketball. I'm talking about them playing basketball. I'm not talking about them as people. I don't want to hear that.
I know we need to get off, but I need to hear this from both of y'all because y'all both made picks. So before we jump off, why is Houston going to beat the Lakers in Game 6? What's going to happen that's going to stop the Lakers from winning?
I didn't say Houston was going to beat.
Hold up,
For me, I believe that Houston will beat the Lakers in 6 because I think the difference between the Blazers and the Lakers are the Blazers could put their foot on the pedal and they could go 100 and 115. But when Dame goes off the floor, they throttle back down to 80, and then CJ takes him back to 95. But that's not 115. When Harden is off the floor, Russ can be on the floor. When Russ is off the floor, Harden can be on the floor. And therefore, they can run, shoot, dish, and drive all game long. The problem for the Lakers is going to be, I believe LeBron is going to run out of gas in this series because he is going to take the challenge, unlike Giannis has been doing, and which has been my problem with Giannis, of taking the challenge and saying, fuck the rest. I want to play because I want to win because my reputation is on the line. And I believe LeBron will do that. And I think that by him doing that and them going 100 miles an hour, I don't think he will have enough. I think AD will probably average 30 in this series. I think LeBron will average 30 in this series. But I think Harden could average 33. And I think Russ could average 30, 10, and 10. And if they do that, it's going to be a long series for them.
I cannot see Harden averaging. I can't see LeBron.
I can. Who can defend him? The Lakers have no one to defend him.
No, that's not what I said. I can't see LeBron averaging 30 in this series.
I can.
That's my problem.
I can.
That is my one problem.
Because the Houston Rockets, if LeBron James wants to just be a physical presence, has no one to guard him.
It won't work. That's 100% a lie. That's for sure. I know. Covington can guard him in his prime, let alone right now.
Yeah, but also, like I said, I think LeBron. I think we said the same thing about Gary Trent in our text messages for a couple games.
We never said Gary Trent.
And then LeBron.
We said
wait a minute, Glasses. We said that Gary Trent, that LeBron was letting Gary Trent. LeBron should never let Robert Covington guard him. I'm bigger, stronger, faster. I'm gonna drive to the lane.
He's not bigger, stronger, faster.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He might not be faster anymore. Still bigger and stronger.
He's not even bigger and stronger than Robert.
He's LeBron, the strongest player on the floor.
That's a lie.
In that Rocket series.
No, Robert Covington is
Who's stronger than LeBron
strong.
on that Rocky series?
Who is stronger than LeBron?
You do good though.
I bet you Robert Covington bench more. I bet you Robert Covington at this point can run fast, and I bet you Robert Covington is
Then
strong.
LeBron.
Then LeBron
Right
James?
Yes.
Right now, currently?
Right now. Robert Covington. Y'all know how big Robert Covington is?
I know how.
Do you know who LeBron?
I'm gonna talk to you at the game.
Look. Usually I'm a LeBron hater, but I'm not rocking with this one. Huh?
Okay. So now, why is it the Lakers are gonna win in 6? What's gonna be the unstoppable part?
LeBron
Because
and Anthony
AD?
Davis. LeBron has the chance at any given time to still be the best player on the floor in any given game. And I think that Anthony Davis has the ability to do that, but he is not a guy that does that at will. And I think that if he can do that in 2 games at will, literally, if the Lakers get a lead in this series, they're going to win. But I think the problem for the Lakers is going to be they're going to split the first 2 games, and I think the Rockets are going to win game 3. The Lakers will win game 4, and then the Rockets will win game 5 and game 6. Now, if the Lakers win either game 3 or game 4, then I think the Lakers might win it. But I think the Rockets have the ability to put the pedal to the metal so much that we wear Ramon James out.
Right. So you think LeBron can be LeBron in a series and the team doesn't win?
Well, no. I'm saying is that the Lakers can win. You asked me what the Lakers can do to win in 6.
I'm explaining this. No, that's what I was asking Ash because I was. What I'm saying to you is, if LeBron James averaged 30 points, the Lakers are going to win. That's for sure.
I think we'll see. I think it depends on what Anthony Davis does.
I would bet
Kyle Kuzma has to average 17 points a game in the series as well.
$1,000, right, to $300 that LeBron James doesn't average 30 in this series at all.
I don't think he was going to average 30, but I think he has the ability to put up 30 on any given night, which I think for the Houston Rockets could be scary.
I think he's going to be in tough because I don't think you guys know the matchup history of Robert Covington and LeBron James. You should really go look at that.
I do know. I know that they had a lot of
still
battles
on the
when he
fact
was
that
in
he
Philadelphia.
thinks Robert Covington is stronger than LeBron James. I still haven't
'cause
digested that thought process.
Yeah, but
what makes
that's a different show.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. So you really think? Have you seen Robert Covington?
Have you seen LeBron James? I'm not doubting.
I know
Robert
you've seen LeBron James
athleticism,
obviously.
but LeBron James, of all the people to compare him to, you're gonna sit here and say that Robert Covington is stronger than LeBron James?
What makes you think his strength is? You think LeBron is a strong, powerful player? Is that what you get from his game? He's not.
You don't.
He's not.
You don't.
No. He's a finesse player.
He's a power finesse player. The same way with Giannis.
No. Giannis is a complete power player. There's no
Giannis is a power finesse player.
No. There's no finesse.
I see Shaq running down the lane Euro, and that's finesse.
Listen,
that's
Euro
finesse.
is not a representation. That is power. And no, LeBron James is not stronger than Robert Covington at all. That is just
do good though.
But we can agree to disagree.
We are going to agree to disagree. So let's get ready to get out of here.
Robert Covington without bench him and everything in a bench press conference.
Yeah, okay.
You're tripping. But glasses.
Let me ask you a question. How much does LeBron bench in your mind?
I don't know his personal business.
I don't know what that man's squatting, but it's more than Robert Covington.
Facts.
It's gonna be so excellent. This is gonna be so excellent.
You mean when they pick a winner? What you mean?
For real, you still teetering the fence.
I'm telling you why, because I don't actually know who Anthony Davis is yet, and I'm going to find out this series. I'm going to find out who Anthony Davis is.
It's a hilarious statement. But Glasses, thank you for coming on the show. Go ahead, talk to the people, let them know where they can find you at.
You know where to find it, Low. I'm Googleable.
All right, exactly. Glass, thank you for coming through as always, and I'll get up with you later. Ashley, thank you so much for coming through today to talk with me on 2 for 1. You have a clip dropping tomorrow. Go ahead, get your plug in, talk to the people, because I'm sure they probably came in to see you and not me.
Yeah, okay. You guys can follow me at Nicole Moss. Got a breakdown and analysis of everything going on in sports, all the game 7s that we face, upcoming series. So make sure you guys tune into HNB Media TV to see all of that. Don't forget to subscribe, guys.
Alrighty, and thank you fans for tuning in. I appreciate it. Shout out to Ashley and for Glasses for coming through tonight on the stream. Please make sure you drop a like if you're watching this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out Ashley's newest content. It goes up on HNB Media. She's producing content weekly. Go check her videos out. Make sure you drop a like on those as well. Be sure to follow her as well on YouTube. Make sure you go follow Glasses Malone on Twitter at @GMalone. You can follow me on Instagram and at Twitter at RealTPJ. That's ReelTPJ. It's a film joke. If you don't get it, you damn dummy. Honestly, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably ain't gonna see me doing nothing but smoking weed and hanging out with my cat. But go ahead, feel free if you want to follow me on Twitter for some takes. Make sure you follow at HNB Media TV and at Hoops and Brews. And until next time, folks, I will get up with you later. It's been your boy TPJ, and this has been 2 for 1. Peace out.